In this video, we are going to go over the Codio menu over here on the left side when you're actually in a course. So if you're on the dashboard, you just have this menu, which we went over in our welcome video. But once you click on a course to go into a specific course, you've got another Codio menu that pops up. So let's go over a few of these items. So we are going to minimize this other menu, and you come right into overview mode. So this is where you're going to spend most of your time. This is where you can go into grade student assignments. This is where you can change any of the assignment settings, preview the lesson, see how the progress is, change assignment settings. That's all done through the overview menu. Edit assignments. This is going to be when you are ready to customize the course, maybe add your own assignments or maybe make some changes to our assignments. There is a separate video in the playlist on how to edit assignments. You can also access that video through the FAQs. There's a question there, how do I change or edit duplicate assignments? So watch that video. But I would make sure that you are used to the Codio platform. Maybe, after you have a couple months of teaching under your belt, then go in and edit those. Students, this is where all your students are going to show up. So once you've added students here, all your students are in the course. They'll show up here. You can click on the student names and see all their progress on different assignments. I would recommend adding test students. So you can either do add a student here, and you can add students by giving them a URL to sign up with, or a 2-word phrase that you can give them and they can join. Mostly it's going to be from the URL. That way, if they don't have a Codio account, then they'll be able to sign up for Codio and join the class at the same time. This 2 phrase would be if they already have a Codio account. If you set Codio up to integrate with your LMS system, then you will not have the option to use a URL, because students are going to get to Codio through your LMS system. So through Canvas or through Schoology. So if you have turned your LTI LMS integration on, you will not see the option to have a URL for students to click on to be added to the course, because they'll have to go through that LMS to get into Codio. So always add test students. So go ahead and do that, and that's going to add 3 test students. And what this is going to do is allow you to go into Codio, log in as a student, and see everything that a student would see the dashboard like students would see what you've enabled, what you've disabled, go through an assignment as a student. So that's very powerful tool that you can use, and then you always switch back to teacher's account when you're ready to go back as a teacher. So I would definitely add your test students to get started. And then if you want to, from there, if you need to generate that URL, you can do that, or they will go through the LMS. Automated emails, I would skip that. You can go into that later. Course details. So be careful with this one. You can accidentally delete the course through here. You can change the name of the course here. So when you added the course from the link that we provided in your onboarding email, if you didn't change the name of the course there and it says like You Teach CS Principles License Course, this is where you can come in and change it. So you could come in and say like You Teach, or just say like maybe your last name, APCSP, period 1. something like that. Tags, you can leave that, start date, end date, time zone, all that. Make sure you save the changes. The only other thing here, these are some things that you won't really do these things. That's if you had a child course of this course, which you cannot do. Revoke pseudo access, that's turned on automatically from us, and that just prevents students from getting into the terminal access and changing things, adding things. That's super user access in the Ubuntu vanilla box, so we revoke that automatically just for security. Teachers, this just shows you who you've got set up in your course. Export, this is good if you want to print copies or a copy of any or all of the lessons. So come down here to PDF, click export, and then if you wanted to click print all the Unit 1 assignments, you can just check the box and it gets all of them. So you can pick and choose whatever you want. If you don't want these things, unmark those. And then when you come down to the bottom, it says include teacher content only. So if you want the teacher content, then you would toggle that on. If you just want what the students can see, then you leave it off. Now, this will not print any assessments, again, for security reasons. And then you can choose single PDF or PDF per assignment, and it will run in the background and send you an email with a link when that is ready. So that's how you can print any assignments. Maybe you have a notebook that you like to have, or lesson plans that you need to give to your administration. You just print them right off. LTI LMS integration. So there's documentation in the Getting Started module. Usually we direct you to Codio, ask you to reach out to Codio to help you with that, because there's so many different LMS systems and they are the experts. Codio support it. They're the experts on how to integrate. And so if you turn this on, that's where you're not going to get that URL for students, because once this is turned on, students have to go through your LMS to get into Codio for the first time. And then you've got a separate one down here for Google Classroom. We have a separate video for that. Gamification, this just kind of lets students rank themselves as far as like grades of how they're doing. And then you've got some grading settings here, anonymous. This really has to do with higher ed faculty. If like a TA is grading versus the professor and you don't want students to know who's actually doing the grading, you would hit this. Release grades automatically. I would turn that off. We have it off. I'd keep it off. If you keep it on, that means anytime a student finishes an assignment and there's auto-graded assessments in there, it grades those and releases that grade, but it's not all graded. Maybe you've got some assessments in there that you need to grade, so it will show a partial grade, 50 out of 100, 80 out of 100. So it's not a true reflection of what they did on that assessment until you've gone in and done the grading. And I'll show you how to do that. Behavioral insights. This can help a lot with some of your coding assignments, making sure students are spending the time that they should on coding assignments. So you can enable that, and we can we'll have a separate video on how that works. So if you make any changes, you always save changes. And then the grading queue just kind of shows you what needs to be graded, and we don't have anything here. So that's an overview of the menu here, and we'll do another video on each individual assignment and what all these things mean. Thank you.